Good morning. Hi, everybody. For those of you joining for the first time, my name is Karen Kong, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And welcome to my This or That Thursday. So every week I try to post 2 cards in my Facebook group, and I ask people to vote on a card for me to make live on Thursday. So today's was last night. I posted very, very late. It was busy day, busy week, and my crafting time has been seriously cut into from starting out my exercising again. So I'm in like a lot of pain these days, just being so sore. Good morning, Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Thanks for stopping by and watching. Yeah, so I feel like I'm kind of tired from last night, and I'm a little bit disorganized. Good morning, Shannon. Because I was like waiting to see who's gonna decide on which card it was gonna be this morning, and well, I picked because I didn't know which one it was gonna be, so I decided to prepare for and take care of getting ready for the first card, which is a swap card. Okay, so good morning, Tara. I'm just going to get my computer up and running and streaming the video so I can see your comments while I'm crafting. If you're watching live, I love it when you guys like help me keep the conversation rolling by commenting. Just give me a second. I need to get the video streaming, and then I can switch over to my desk. All right, I have everything up. Okay, so I am going to get started, and I'm going to switch my camera over to the desk. So close your eyes for just a few seconds, okay? Oops. Okay, I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit. There we go. I think that's good. That actually looks too close. Sorry. All right. I think it's up too far, so I'm gonna move it back too. And every week I set this up, and I think it looks fine, and then we start the live, and it doesn't look fine. Okay, so now, sorry. Just close your eyes because it's wobbling. I'm going to stop that. All right. I think we're ready to go. All right. So here's the card. So as I said, this is a card I designed for a swap. So I'm going to on stage in November, which is sort of like a Stampin' Up! Convention. And it's for demonstrators. And at these conventions, apparently people swap cards, and I've never done this before. So you basically make one card design and make a whole pile of them, and then you swap them with other demonstrators. So when I come back, hopefully I'll have like tons of different cards for inspiration for you guys to share with you. Made by other people with other different stamp sets that I don't have, and different styles, so should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So this is the one I designed to take with me, and I've been like mass cutting and stamping to get ready, but I haven't actually assembled a single other card yet. This will be my second card that I assembled this morning. Shannon, you're asking me how many cards I'm planning. So I have cut out enough pieces so far for 46 cards, but I'm probably going to keep like a bunch of them for my own stash because I want to be able to give some away to my own friends. So probably 40. So that should give me like a really nice, spread of cards when I'm swapping with all the other demonstrators at the convention. So we'll see. It's taking a lot of time. I calculated how much time it might take me, and the first card I had designed, I think it would have taken me like close to 30 hours. And I thought this one would be faster, and it's not bad. It's not not too long, but it does have a lot of die cutting. So we'll show you. I'll show you what I mean. So yeah, there's a lot of products used for this particular card. So I have the I used the stitched greenery die for the background. Okay, I used these stylish shapes for the circle, and then for the stamping, the flowers come from the Happiness Abounds stamp set, and then of course the I needed the die from the Cup of Tea dies, and then the greenery in the background is from Forever Fern, and then this tag here, I have used it so often. Like, this is one of my favorite little tags, as from the Simply Succulents set. So I had quite a few products in this particular card, but I really like how it turned out. And it was inspired by Gail Ellis. I love her work. She has beautiful, beautiful layering in her cards, and I did not, you know, achieve the same kind of layering, but she's like amazing. So anyways, her cards are more complicated than mine, but she did inspire me to design this card. And I do love this stitched greenery too, Shannon, because it's I don't know, I don't think it's actually retired. Oh, maybe it is, I can't remember. Shoot, if it's retired, I have a problem. Yeah, so the stitched greenery, I mean, it's just so versatile because it's all leaves. And I mean, how many flower sets are there in the Stampin' Up, you know, product line? There's just so many, right? So this goes with so many themes, and it's very neutral. So I really like that one. Hopefully it's not retired, because then I'm gonna have to swap this out for something else. So, but for today, I guess that's what we're using. So let's get started. So the two colors I used here are Sahara Sand for the base and this little circle, and white, of course. And this pink here is a Blushing Bride. The green here is Soft Seafoam, and I think that's it. Okay, so let's start by cutting the card base. I'm gonna get these things out of the way first. Yeah, if somebody can look it up and tell me if the stitched greenery is retired or not, that would be helpful. I'll look it up after too, but... Oh, thanks, Sandra. Jeez. I thought I'd have to redesign my card or swap something out. Phew. All right, so let's leave that there and get the Sahara Sand. So I don't have that particular ink yet. That's one of the few inks I didn't have. So I swapped for a crumb cake, but I did order the Sahara Sand, so that's coming. So I'm gonna have the ink completely coordinate with my card, but I think it gets pretty close there. Yeah, so the stitched greenery, like I said, it's very versatile. I really like how it matches with so many different themes. It's a great background to have. Okay, so let's get out my trimmer. Move this off to the side. So this is a standard card base, and yes, Tara, so for swaps, at this particular swap with the Stampin' Up! Convention, it must be current products. You can't use anything retired. Yeah, so this is a standard card, and if you're watching it for the first time, don't worry, I always post the measurements in the description of the video afterwards, so you don't have to write down everything. Okay, so I'm just going to slice this 8.5 by 11 piece in half, so at 5.5 inches, so I can just measure it right there, 5.5, cut it, and I'm going to score it in half as well at 4.25 on this side. Okay. And let's just burnish the fold with the bone folder. Then my embossed layer with the stitched greenery. This is just another standard size, so I just take a 1/4 inch off, so it's 4 by 5 1/4. And let's see. Okay, let's just measure this one. I believe this is already 5 1/2. This is a 5 1/2. Okay, I put my trimmer away too early. So I need a 4 by 5 1/4. So this is 5 1/2. So I'll trim this to 4 first, 4 inches. And then 5 1/4 here. I just need to trim off a 1/4 inch. Okay, so now we start with the die cutting. And I'm just going to show you. Actually, I should probably show you the stamping first because I'll have to die cut everything. Okay, so I'm not going to show. Okay, so this is a white. I did a white on a Blushing Bride. Just a second, let me show you. Where did that piece go? Okay, so this white is a pigment ink dye. It's not water-based like the other one, so it takes a while longer to dry. So I typically, when I did this, I stamped everything and just let it sit for several minutes before I cut it. So I'm not going to stamp this one live, but I do have a piece that's already stamped. Okay, so I'll just die cut this piece when I'm ready to. Okay, the other one, so this piece I used mass production method to yes, I use embossing powder with the pigment in, but this one I didn't want to put an embossing layer. So okay, so and then this flower I made a template, so I die cut it first. I die cut all my pieces first, and then I cut a whole bunch of these pieces out, and I don't have one ready, but what am I gonna do? Okay, let's quickly cut that out because I want to show you. Because I'll show you, I have like a gazillion of these cut out right now, right? So to save time, I die cut all the flower shapes first, and then I stamp them using this template, and it was way faster than having to line up the die every single time. Okay, so let me just get into the machine, and I'll show you what I mean. Yes, the white ink pad, you have to ink yourself. I'm not sure why they do that. I don't know why they don't just send it out already inked, but yes, for some reason, the white, you have to ink it yourself. All right, so, okay, so I've got a piece of white here. I'm gonna get out the die for this. Okay, so this is the die. Oops, can't get it off the magnet. All right, so here's my die, and I'm just going to cut out the flower shape first. Okay, you can see I have like little bits of washi tape to help me tack down the die when I want them to stay in place. I just leave them stuck to my machine until they're unusable anymore, but I can reuse them quite a few times before that happens. Yeah, so the white is not the same as the rest of them, and it does take longer to dry, so I like to leave it. Okay, so there's my die cut piece. Let's put this away. And I'll use my Stamparatus for this, for mass production. It is so valuable. Okay, so here's my template that I already die cut out. Okay, so I'm going to put it on my Stamparatus, and I will take the stamp and I'm going to line it up with the cut out center, okay, so that when I stamp it, it'll be right where it belongs. Okay, Okay, so you can give it a try like beforehand, you know, to test it out, but it should line up pretty well. What other pigment inks? I think the only other one is the Versamark, which is a clear, and you can use the clear for making a background that's like really subtle, or it's primarily also used for embossing powders because it is also slow drying, and it's for sticking to the embossing powder. Okay, so I lined up, so if you see what I did, I lined up my stamp with the cutout portion here. So now I take out my die cut flower and I stick it in, and I'm going to ink up my stamp. Okay. And it will stamp my die cut image. Look at that. So I didn't even have to line it up, like, you know, because lining up the die on top of an inked image takes time, right? So if you're going to do like 40 of them, this is way faster. Okay, so that is my flower inked up. All right, let me just clean that off. I'll put the stamp away. So yeah, I don't think if you tried to use a water-based ink pad, which is the majority of Stampin' Up's inks, I don't think the embossing powder would stick to it at all. You have to use a pigment ink pad for it to stick. Okay, so that is the flower. I'm just trying to think what else I need to stamp. So I need to stamp the best wishes, so let's just get a little piece of white out. Okay. Let's see. I'm just trying to find a right size piece to stamp on. You know, I have a gazillion bits of paper left over from, you know, chopping and trimming certain sections off. So let's use this one. Okay. Which one did I use? I used the best wishes. All right, so yeah, so Shannon, you would stamp in the Versamark, and then you'd use a clear embossing powder, and then that way you don't have to have every single ink color. Okay, so let me just make sure I have enough. I think this is wide enough for this particular die. All right. So I can check that it lines up because of the grid lines here, but this one's okay because I'm going to cut it out anyways, so I can adjust the angle if I need to. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this one in crumb cake. And I'm going to make it a little bit darker, and that's the beauty of using a Stamparatus, is that you can stamp twice in the exact same spot and get a richer, see how much richer that is when you stamp it twice. Okay, I'm just going to clean that off, and then we'll get ready to die cut a whole pile of things. Okay, so Thanksgiving is coming up here in Canada. And I'm wondering, what is your dessert of choice? Is it pumpkin pie or apple pie or something else? Do you guys have like a traditional dessert? Because Karis really wants to try pumpkin pie, because we've never had, like, I don't bake pies. My sister bakes pies, but I don't. And I don't know. Pumpkin pie is not my favorite. It's okay. It's just not my favorite. I would choose apple pie for me. Oh, okay. Hi, Rachel. Nice to see you. you're a pumpkin pie fan. And do you typically serve ice cream with apple pie? Sorry, with pumpkin pie. Like, do you serve? Is that like a thing? I don't normally see. I think it's actually whipped cream that I see on top of it usually, right? Another pumpkin pie. Pumpkin cheesecake. Okay, I have never heard of that. Pumpkin cheesecake. Oh my gosh, never heard of it. Does it look the same? Is it in a pie crust then? Ah, whipped cream, yes. Yeah, that's what I thought. Whipped cream with the pumpkin pie. So Sandra, do you buy 2 pies then? Or do you like alternate years for, you know, that dessert? Okay, but I've never had pumpkin cheesecake. I didn't even know such a thing existed. Pumpkin cheesecake. That is totally new to me. All right, so I've got my best wishes, and I'm going to cut out my teacup at the same time. No pie crust. Oh, a graham cracker crust. Okay, got it. Right. Yeah, that's what you use for cheesecake. Okay, so I'm just going to cut out my my flour here. Okay. Sorry, I think I'm off the screen a little bit. Let me adjust that. There we go. Okay. All right, so there's the best wishes. Oh, the kids get to vote? They have the winning vote? That's funny. So we were lucky enough to be invited to a friend's place for a Thanksgiving meal this year, and they're making homemade pumpkin pie. So we're going to be very lucky to try that out this year. Okay, so there's 2 of my die cuts. Now I need the greenery. Okay, so the greenery, there's white and there's soft seafoam. Okay, so the white I'm going to cut out of with the big leaf here. And then this one with the soft seafoam. Oh, because they eat the majority. What, you don't split it up equally? Okay, you know what? Karis eats as much of everything as we do. It's incredible. I think she sometimes eats more than her brother. He's 16 and she's 10. I don't know where she puts it. Okay, so here goes the greenery. Right. So this is part of the Forever Fern die set, and I really like it's no stamping, and it just makes it pretty greenery to add to the bouquet. All right, so that one's done, and I just need to poke it out. So I'm just going to grab my stylus if I can find it, and it is somewhere hidden on my desk, I'm sure. Of course, I can't find. Oh, there it is. Okay. Of course, you don't need all the dessert. You want the dessert. Okay, so I'm just using a stylus. This is not a Stampin' Up! Particular tool. This is from my stash from umpteen years ago. Turned out to be very handy because it's got a really fine tip for poking into these holes just to release the die from the die cut from the die. So I can just peel it away. There we go. There's one. And my other leaf. And is everybody serving turkey or ham? This year, like usually I serve like a turkey breast because there's only 4 of us. But this year the kids and everybody said we want something different. So we're going to have steak. Totally untraditional for Thanksgiving, but we haven't had a lot of steak this summer, so I think steak will be good. Yeah, the Take Your Pick tool does have a stylus tip, but it's not as skinny as this one is, unfortunately. It's thicker, and I can't poke it through some of the smaller holes, so the one in my stash has been really handy. Yeah, so ham or turkey or untraditional dinner this year, ladies. Oh, this one wants to stick more. Okay, got that free. All right, so that's done. And I still need to show you the stitched greenery background, so that one needs to be done next. Okay, so this is a whole sheet, and where did I put the stitched greenery? Turkey. Shannon, I think that's a turkey in the picture, but it's so small on my screen I can't see it right now. Okay, so I usually line this up with the edge because this really sticks to the plate, so I need to be able to get my finger underneath the edge of the paper to be able to get it off, so I like to put it kind of right at the edge there. Okay, so I'm just going to put it down, hopefully without turning it. All right. And I'm going to put that through. Alright. So pretty. Okay, so the trick is to get my fingernail. Oh, good. Look, one of them is coming up. Okay, so kind of have to just peel it gently away from the plate because the whole thing is stuck down. Try not to bend the paper too much, but it's really stuck tight in some places. Yeah. 45 times, 46 times? Yes, I'm gonna have to do this. But something good to do in front of the TV, I think. I won't have to necessarily watch what I'm doing all the time. I just need to pull gently. But it makes such a great background, like I think it's totally worth it. Okay, good. All right, there we go. Isn't that gorgeous? I know, it is going to take me a while. This card is going to take me longer than I thought, probably. Okay, let me just check. I have my teacup, I have my greenery, I have my sentiments. Oh, I need a circle. Yeah, so I can't be picky. I won't even know, like, you know, what the swap cards look like until they pull it out. And by that point, you know, you have to swap, right? There is, like, we have to follow the etiquette. There's no turning down swap cards. That would be impolite. Okay, so there's a circle that I need to cut. Just a second, I have a... It's all here, it's just buried. All right, here we go. So I have the Stylish Shapes die, and I happen to have one piece left over from when I was making this earlier. And it fits exactly. So that's perfect for me. Yeah, I'll show you guys the finished cards when I'm done, the pile. And I'm going to put in, like, they like it when you put in, you know, a little bit of information in the back, like they stick it in with the envelope. what colors you used, what products you used, and like your name and, you know, contact information and stuff like it. And then sometimes you get shout outs from other people who like your cards. So, okay. That's a plan, Sandra. I'll just step aside and pretend to take a call, right? Thanks for sacrificing yourself. We'll keep that in mind. We'll make that a plan. All right, so now I'll swap with everybody, and we'll see how this whole swap thing goes. I've never done a swap. I know that other groups, like my Uplines team runs a swap, but I've just never had time. I just never made the time to do it. You know what? I wonder if this is the wrong piece. I think I cut the wrong. Oh, this is the. I embossed the wrong size piece, but that's okay. I'll just cut it down to size. So I just need to cut this down. All right, so let's cut that down. So I need it to be 5 1/4. I'm gonna cut this side off. 5 1/4 by 4. This way. Okay. And I will adhere that to my card base. Okay, so that's right size. I'm going to get some glue. I wonder if anybody has ever tried to turn down a swap card. That would be like really humiliating. Like, so that's why they say you can't do that. All right, so I'm just going to center this. Okay. And I'll put this down. This is a little higher on the card because I want room for my ribbon and my teacup to go just a little bit below, right? So my teacup's going to go about here. So, okay. So let's put some glue on there. I wouldn't turn down your penguin. No, I just said I had dibs on your cherry card because I know the amount of time that you put into that one. And I gave you paper for the prototype. Let me remind you. So I get dibs. Plus, I don't have the cherries. I have the penguin. I could make that card, but I can't make the cherry one. And I don't have the background for that either. The cherry card that you made, Sandra, because like the one with all the holes in it, I don't have that one either. So I'm hoping to get, you know, cards that I can't make myself. Okay, so for this card, I noticed that I had the greenery here is very big. So I think what I did was I chopped off a little bit off of this side and I put it on the other side. Let me just see. I'm just comparing to my original card because look. Yeah, so what I did was I chopped off, what did I chop off? Because I didn't, now I'm forgetting. I thought I only chopped off like one portion and like I'm seeing that I don't have this side here. My memory's so bad. Okay, so for sure I chopped off some of this. There's no way I kept all of that. So I'm going to chop off this right here. And here. Okay, so that's going to be behind my card, my teacup. And then I'll add this extra greenery over here. What was it? Yeah, I think it's just that piece. I thought I had actually just taken off one side and like, or maybe I did it like this. I don't remember now. No, that's not right. I think it's just this piece. All right. This is reality crafting. Shannon. I do not. Oh my gosh. And I don't usually catch your Facebook lives because that's like the day I'm usually running errands and stuff. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But yes, well, see, that's the thing. Your Facebook lives probably go faster than me because I am so slow at, like, you know, perfecting everything. That's just me though. I hope you guys won't like die of boredom while I like try to perfect something. So I just trimmed off the little edge there so that it won't show up. All right, great. So layering for me was always like tough because I was like, how do they get all the layers? Like I would layer everything and then I'd be like, okay, now how do I assemble this without taking it apart, right? So I've been trying to watch some of the other live demonstrations from other demonstrators, and you know, some of them they add a little bit of glue and then they tuck it in, but that doesn't always work like when you've got like a lot of pieces. Like this one, like I don't think I could just slide it in. And I want to put this up on dimensionals too. Oh my God, yes, Sandra, I have to do this 46 times. God help me. I'm sure this is gonna go faster once I've like figured out a rhythm. It's just a matter of figuring out that rhythm, right? I haven't done it 46 times yet. I haven't done even twice yet. Like I only just designed the card. So this is going for the first time live. And this is why I call this reality crafting. Because it's always, you know, full of imperfections of its own, right? Because I'm like making mistakes as I go. All right, so this one I know I want like this, and I want to make sure that it doesn't, because if I tilt it too far, it's going to look funny coming out of the side of the cup, right? So this one I'm kind of being careful about because I don't want it to be outside of my cup. So I know it won't be there, so I'm not going to move it too much, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue underneath a few of the leaves and let it hold like that. And like I said, I am watching other lives and trying to figure out how other people do it. But, you know, they just stick a bit of glue here and there, and then they stick it down. And I don't know. If I'm like willy-nilly like that, I usually end up with something that is not in the right spot. So I'm a little bit more careful about how I do this. Yeah, well, see, I thought like, you know, when I did this one, I thought it was so simple, and I didn't realize, I don't know what I did. Like, I thought I only snipped off one piece, and apparently I didn't. So, whatever. Okay, so I don't need to keep this little awkward stem. I'm just going to put, like, glue behind here. And I will, see, I'm using my designed card as my template right now. Just going to put a few dots of glue. And I'm going to kind of imitate where I had the other one. I seem to be missing some leaves. All right, so let's just stick it there. I'm sure it'll be fine. I just have to stop obsessing. All right, so this one goes on top. And again, I'm just going to stick some glue down and we'll just stick it on top. Okay. All right. So this one, something like this. Oh, I wonder if I trimmed this one too. Let's see. Where's my teacup? I had my, oh, there it is. Okay. So yes, I think I did trim something here. I'm just going to trim this one because I think it's, I could probably still hide it actually. Yeah, I think I can hide that one. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and trim it anyways. No need to hide it. There we go. All right. And then the last one is the actual flower right here. And let's just use glue. Okay, so I know I want it to look approximately like this. I want it to stick out so you can see the center of it. So I think that's going to be fine. Okay, so now that I've done layering my greenery, I'm going to put dimensionals on this. Okay. I think I'm going to pull out my mini dimensionals to put along the edge here and on the teacup handle there. Just, because it's such a small space there. There we go. And I actually cut some in half, I think, to go underneath the handle. Yeah, so I restarted my exercising, and I haven't done exercising in, like, I don't know, probably when I started Stampin' Up, because I was so obsessed with Stampin' Up, and I haven't kind of kept my exercising up since I had crafting to do. And now it's time to admit that, okay, I really do need to get back to exercising, and boy, does it hurt. My body is like a noodle. All right. Oh, Pilates class. I never think I ever went to a real Pilates class. I'm wondering, like, if is it is it kind of like yoga, except more like dancing, stretching? I don't know. And it's very low impact as far as I understand too. All right, there's my teacup. I like using my tweezers to hold it because then I can position it without actually touching the paper and then being like, oh shoot, I'm committed now to this position because it's stuck. There, I think that's good. All right. Oh, and my best wishes. I think I did this the exact same thing last time as too, is that my best wishes, I slid underneath my circle. So I think I can still slide it underneath. Who knows? We'll see. This is where the take your pick tool comes in handy. It's yoga without the meditating. Stretching and core work. Oh, okay. PIYO class. Shannon, is that how you say it? I don't know how you say PIYO. Pilates and yoga. Interesting. Okay, so I'm just gonna use my take your pick tool to like make a little bit of room. I think it's just a little bit of glue underneath there, and now I can slide it underneath. Okay, so I just need a little bit of glue underneath here. PIYO. Oh, okay. All right. PIYO. Again, I've never heard of that either. All sorts of things I've never heard of today. Shannon, you're a wealth of information. Pumpkin cheesecake and PIYO. I have learned 2 new things today. Okay, so let's slide this underneath. I need more fingers. There we go. think I need to slide it a little bit more. There we go. All right, that's the good thing about glue. You have a little bit of time to work with it before you're committed. All right, and I think I need to embellish it now. So now I have some twine. So I just use a plain white. And I like to tie the ribbon, the bow, on the right on the spool, because then I have the flexibility of untying it and redoing it if I have too much, too little, because I've had it happen to me where I cut it first and then tied it, and to discover that I didn't have enough length to work with, and then I wasted that piece because I couldn't make it into a ribbon, into a bow. So now I just tie it right on the spool, and that way I can adjust as needed. Okay. There we go. That's a little bit long. I can just trim that rather than retying. Okay, so I think so. I'm going to use a glue dot to adhere the bow, and I really think they need to make smaller glue dots, because I always cut these in half at least for when I use it to embellish behind. Sorry, to stick on a bow, because the knot is so small. Shannon, it's in November, like mid-November, November 12th, I believe. Yeah, I'm gonna be working on this in front of the TV for a while. Like, the die cutting is no problem. Oh shoot, I have this stuck to my finger. Yeah, the die cutting I can do, you know, in front of the TV, no problem. It's the assembly part that's gonna take me a while. Okay, so now this is stuck to my finger. And I just saw this at the card making, free card making event, where they rolled the glue dot when they wanted to make it smaller, and like it makes it kind of bulky. But I'm gonna have to do it this time because it's stuck to my finger and I don't want to just throw it in the garbage. So there we go. It is what it is. There we go. And I'll just stick it on the handle here. All right, and then I have embellishments. I have the Iridescent Pearls, and I wanted to actually try coloring them, and I've done that before. If you attended my customer appreciation night, I colored the pearls for those ice cream cards for that night, and it was awesome because you make it match exactly. And I discovered when I went to look at the blender pens, because you have to use the blends markers to color in order for it to be permanent, because they're alcohol based, and they don't have a blushing bride. So I don't know. I might try it with like a petal pink, perhaps. I haven't done it yet, but maybe we'll just try it now. Just a second, I'll get the petal pink out. I'm not sure if petal pink will go, but let's try it out with one. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to color one of them petal pink just to see how it looks. Okay, so it's just a blends pen marker, and I'm just going to color the surface of this one. And it's very, very subtle. Very, very, very subtle on this, because it's petal pink. It's very light. But you can do this with like a lot of their gems. You can color them with the alcohol markers, and it will stay that color. That's kind of nice. It might go. What do you guys think? Let's see. I'll hold it up for you. So that is a petal pink. Can you see? It's really hard to see, I guess, eh? But I think it actually looks okay. I might go ahead and do that with the other pearls too. Yeah. Okay, so I'll color the other two because I had done these ones, just left them white. It's got a little bit of shine to it, but I'm going to try coloring these other two as well. And we'll do this card with colored pearls. Somehow that doesn't look as dark as the bigger one. I'm just going to color it again. You can do that. Once it dries, you can color it again to get it darker. I'm not sure if I waited long enough. It's really hard to tell with this light color if it's dried or not. I'm blowing on them. Okay, yeah, I think it's subtle enough that you can't really tell if it's like a big difference between the colors. So I'm going to use it. Okay, so let's take your pick tool. I'm going to stick it on here. And up here. And over here. So that's my card. What do you guys think? Do you think it looks better with just the plain white or with the pink pearls? You choose. I don't know. I'm undecided at this point as to whether or not I like it with white or pink. We'll see. Sandra says pink. Yeah. I'm going to let this one sit, and I'll see what you guys say, you know, if more people chime in, and, you know, I have a lot of time before I'm finished. This will be the last touches that I add, so I have time to think about this and decide. All right, well, thanks, ladies, for joining in and for commenting and keeping me company, because, you know, it's just no fun talking to myself. Hard to keep up a conversation all by yourself. So thank you for joining in, and that is the card today. And hope everybody has a fantastic long weekend, Thanksgiving celebration, and enjoy the meals and all the wonderful weather. And we'll see you next week. Thanks again. See you guys.